Good afternoon, everyone. Y'all are not asleep after lunch and all that good lunch and things. My name's Terry Salyer. I'm an energy manager for Eastern Kentucky. I have 5 school districts, which encompass Johnson, Paintsville, Martin, McGoffin, and Lawrence counties. And what I do is I go around and work with a lot of students. We have energy teams in every school that we have, which is over 39. And they work on a lot of things to be able to save our district's money. The Juice Crew is the energy teams that we have, and let me give you a little bit of background about why is energy so important in our schools. Energy is the second largest line item in your budget for a district, right behind what? Personnel, right. It usually runs in a school district around 5 to 7% of your total budget for that year. So what we're finding out in a lot of districts, and back in 2009 to 10, the Kentucky legislature required us by law to be able to track by districts what we were actually using in energy and consumption as far as electricity, gas, propane, coal, water, and all this kind of deal. We have to report that to the legislature every year of what our progress is and what we do. The number one way to be able to attack that is through behavior and culture. And what we did, in particular, these lovely 2 guys right here, Justin and Marc, I can't thank them enough for what they've done, particularly in Johnson County. We started this out. So I thought to myself, what can we possibly do to make the biggest impact? And I looked at science fairs and things of that nature, and I said, well, why don't we start to develop an energy fair where we could focus with our students to be able to look on things of conservation or awareness, basically, and how we can save energy. So that's where we came up with the Juice Crew Energy Fair. And what happened there was these 2 gentlemen right here have taken it to the next level in a lot of ways and things, but we were able, and we started out like a STEM core project type thing. The first year we may have had 40 students participate. And this was 4 years ago. Well, this will be in our 5th year coming up and things. And there's some components. Why would we do this? The problem solving that we had, we wanted to save money for our district. And number 2 is, guess what? We want to save jobs, because we found out in a lot of their school districts all across the country, the number one thing is impacted is personnel. So if we can't pay the bills, keep the lights on, what are we going to do? They start laying off people. So that's our core and the problem-solving thing that we look at. So we came up with the Energy Fair as kind of an awareness and things. And you can see up here some of our formats pertaining to Energy Fairs. We have it all related projects. We'll have solar, any renewable energies. So there's a lot of things there. Our program consists of students all the way from K through 12. And we actually divided up now into 4 categories, because we had students competing from K through 6 in the elementary division. And we found out, well, it's not really fair to put a 6th grader against a kindergartner. So what we did last year, and one of our new offerings was we went into a primary and then elementary and then middle school and then high school divisions and things. Project-based learning was the biggest thing on ours, and because what we want to do is save energy, and we want to look at components to do that. Our goal was expand participation by offering new entry categories. One of the things we wanted to do there, like I said before, our first energy fair that we had approximately 40 projects. We went with a STEM program. Students were able to come in and show anything that would have to do with relating to saving energy within our schools. And we have some pictures right here, but what we did with Justin and Marc's help, we got together and we said, we want to expand this thing. Because 40 students out of 2,200 students, in a district, well, we want some more participation. So what we did with our project, and with the help of the funds that we had, we expanded into more categories. We have our STEM, our core category, but we also do visual arts. So any students can do through visual arts and things like that, paintings, photographs, things like that, anything that can show energy conservation there. Multimedias, and this is one of the things that we had to develop something, because after all these people adding all these other students in, we actually grew from 40 to over 800 students, during this time. We had to have subcommittees, and what we did is we got 4 or 5 basic people that came in and they judged these projects, because when you've got 50 to 100 multimedia projects, it takes a while to look at all those to be able to judge those and things. We also do an essay, because we realized that part of our presentation was the students not only had to create a project, but they had to orally present it, they had to show knowledge, they had to do research and background and all that. But not every student is able to do that. But we have those that can really write good stories and good essays and things in composition. So we added the essay category to be able to do that, and it's amazing of how that's grown in this year when we're doing it. And last but not least is kind of performing arts. And performing arts is a wide variety. It could be skits, it could be people that create songs and do different things and all that. But through this arrangement, what we've done is added these categories to expand. We had a couple goals in mind, and I think we wanted to expand those. We wanted to increase our participation by 25% from last year's 400 students. And like I said, we had over 800. So we saw 100% improvement in participation in that, which was very successful. We wanted to develop support teams at each school to help run localized events. We have a district event with the Juice Crew Energy Fair, but what has happened now is, what has spawned out of this with the additional categories is individual schools themselves doing an energy fair first. And based on that, 3 to 5 participants or whatever will then be able to go on to the district energy fair, which we have. So that stimulated a lot of growth among students to be able to go into those categories. And then they compete on the countywide level there at Johnson Central, for the energy fair itself. We got some other pictures here. And these are, go ahead.
This shows our local level events like I do, because some districts aren't large enough. When you're thinking your local level, we have our middle school event, Tell the House, and our 6 elementary schools. Way they'll all hold their own houses. And you see some of the winners that come over to the high school, they got second place in the district-wide event. But each school is able to, with their own leadership in place, put their energy fair to the test, and then their top candidates get to come over for the big show.
And one of the big things on any project is what? The evaluation. How successful have you done? What kind of impact have you made with your students? Within the last 4 years, just in Johnson County alone, the schools in the district, because of energy awareness and the focus on that, has saved their school district over $1 million. So you figure that out, how many teaching jobs it was saved. And one of the things we always encourage the kids about is, do you like to go on field trips? Oh, naturally the response you get, yeah, we want to go. And I said, by what we can save in energy provides us the ability to go out and use transportation and buses and things like that to be able to do field trips and other things that we have, because all that goes back into the general fund.
Our countywide event, when we get everybody together, our high school students are also there. It's set up just like science fair. They get all their school district business. They're showing off their stuff, all their students. They get the whole first half of the day free lunch. Elementary schools get to show off their stuff. Everybody's to meet with each other and all the kids throughout the district. After lunch, the high school will get their time to do that. But at the same time, the high school will get the opportunity to show their stuff.
And one of the greatest things too that go along with that is we attacked what we felt could make the biggest impact as quick, and that was behavior and culture. But much like everything else, you kind of hit that peak, and we're at that peak right now. So what we're doing, the money we've been able to save over the last 4 years, we're going to be able to bring that back in and recycle it into technical projects. For instance, right now, we're looking in Johnson County to relamp every one of our schools, to change all the lighting that we have, to go from a T12, T8, T5 bulb to all LED. And there's rebates and things available with that. So the money that we've been able to save with the students in the energy teams through the awareness of the energy fair has been able to give us fuel and money to be able to make these other changes, which is going to drastically reduce our energy consumption and dollars as well. And that's pretty much what we have. We're looking for great things for next year, even more so. It takes a lot of people to do this though, gang. When you're going from 40 STEM projects down to 800, and we had committees of probably, I would say, over 30 people. One of the things, like, Marc was talking about, we invite the public in, and we wouldn't be able to do this energy fair if it wasn't for the support of companies and things like that work with our school systems. They provide monies for scholarships to the students, for those that participate in things, for awards and things like that we do. And part of our grant money was able us to do that as well, because we took that money to buy medals for participation that we gave to all the students. We also gave them gifts and things like that, and we had speakers come in to be able to share. But what's happening is we're wanting to reach beyond just what we're doing in our schools in the district to actually in their residential in their home. And it's amazing as we go down and we meet people in Walmart or McDonald's or whatever, and they say, "Oh, my son's on one of those energy teams. He's all the time telling me to turn the lights off at home," you see. So our greatest thing is not only do we want to start this from the level of schools, but we want it to be able to reach into homes and have an impact on families. And we're